Right now, a recall in DeForest. The village board moving to oust a trustee after a vote to remove fluoride from the drinking water. Plus, we continue our back to school coverage, the important step for Madison families that starts today. And get ready to laugh because Comedy Week is back. How you can get in on the fun. Good Wednesday morning, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in to News 3 Now this morning. I'm Chris Stanford, and once again this morning we are talking about smoke in the air and air quality issues. Let's get right away to Savannah Brito, who's got your first warn forecast. Good morning, Savannah.
Good morning, Chris. Thank you. Yeah, the worst of the air quality is definitely east and just to the northeast towards Milwaukee, up near Fond du Lac, Sheboygan, and Manitowoc. But a lot of us are waking up to current smoke cover. This is going to continue to be the case. It's yellow, though, or a lighter mix between the blue and yellow. So it's not as bad nor as dense as what we had the last couple of days. So specifically Friday, as we get into the weekend, that's when it becomes a little bit more less. I do still think we're going to see an impact to our air quality, maybe not as low as visibilities. I think those will be better, but more so once we get Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, moderate air, which is the yellow, is going to still be in place. So we're not necessarily good, but a lot better than where we have been. 56 in Madison. Our temperatures are still dropping out there across Dane County. Most of us are in the mid to upper 50s. We do have a couple spots outside of Dane County in southern Wisconsin that are in the 60s this morning. Platteville at 60, La Crosse is at 66, and that's more so going to be our temperature pattern during the overnight hours going forward. We'll talk about the big warm-up that's in store for us coming up.
Sounds good. Thank you. New this morning, a Janesville man now facing charges for a drunk driving incident that left himself and a passenger injured. Rock County Sheriff's Office responding to a single vehicle car crash on County Highway H just outside of the city of Janesville. They say the driver was headed south when he lost control going over a hill and landed in a ditch. He and his passenger suffered non-life-threatening injuries. Police arrested him for his third OWI, felony OWI causing injury, bail jumping, among other charges, making this arrest a felony. His court appearance is scheduled for next week. The village of DeForest will have an election next month. It comes after the village board voted to oust trustee Bill Landgraf. It also comes after residents claim that he harassed and intimidated them, leading to a recall petition signed by more than 1,500 people. His behavior had been exacerbated by the controversial fluoride vote. Landgraf asked the village clerk to void 200 of the signatures. He noted errors like names printed illegally, signatures in the wrong box, or not dated. The clerk found 12 of those to be unacceptable, which is not enough to invalidate the petition.
Looking at the corrections that were made, in my opinion, they appeared to be written by the person that had also wrote the name out of the certifier. So in my opinion, that was valid.
We looked at those and talked to the Wisconsin Elections Commission, and they said, no, those are not things that you need to worry about.
That's Mark Storch, who you heard from there. He says he's confident the recall effort would be successful. It's after gathering those signatures from residents and hearing firsthand what he calls heartfelt support. So that special election is now set for September 16th. The recall committee is backing Alicia William, who ran for a board seat as a write-in back in April to replace Landgraf. Following the state statute, Landgraf will still be on the ballot. He released a statement to us that said, in part, I encourage anyone who cares about integrity and accountability in our village to do their due diligence. In national news, in the Epstein files investigation now, multiple former federal officials are preparing to testify before Congress on those files. The subpoenas sent out by the House Oversight Committee were addressed to multiple former attorneys general, FBI directors, and former President Bill Clinton. Requests were also made for Pam Bondi to release documents relating to the FBI's investigation into Epstein. The Oversight Committee says depositions are set to begin later this month. In more local news, an arraignment date is now set for the former Sun Prairie Dean of Students accused of child sex crimes. Robert Gilkey Meisegeier appeared in court for a preliminary hearing. He faces 15 felony charges, including possession of child pornography and child sexual exploitation. A judge is determining that there is enough evidence to send the case to trial. His arraignment hearing is scheduled for September 2nd. The couple accused of poisoning women in both Rock and Dane counties pleading not guilty. Paul Van Dyne and Andrea Whitaker recently appeared in Dane County Court. Van Dyne is charged with conspiracy to commit first-degree intentional homicide and stalking. Whitaker is charged with conspiracy to commit first-degree intentional homicide, stalking, and harboring and aiding a felon. A move to lower Whitaker's Dane County bail by her defense from $4 million was denied.
She was a student, otherwise law-abiding person. She has no prior failures to appear. We are asking that the court reduce her bail to $10,000.
We're talking about poisons that can kill people in quite small amounts. I can't remember a case in which all these factors led me to believe that just an extraordinary amount of cash bail is necessary.
Van Dyne pleaded not guilty in Rock County last week. An attorney-only status conference is set for October 15th in Dane County. 6:05 now, our Stuff the Bus campaign is underway. We're partnering up with the Boys and Girls Clubs of Dane County to support local students as they start the school year. Until the 15th, we're collecting essential school supplies to support those kids. You can help by dropping off donations at our drop-off sites. Find all that information right now by going to channel3000.com. And more back-to-school news happening today. A heads up if you're a parent in the Madison district. Online enrollment and registration for your kids starts this morning at 8 o'clock. It's at the website on your screen. Every family needs to complete the process. If your kids are returning to school, you'll need to verify or update their information. And if you have any issues assessing the enrollment portal, you can get in touch with the office by calling 608-663-4957 or send them an email. In other school news, Madison schools expanding their alcohol and drug prevention program as the school year is set to begin. Executive Director of Student and Staff Support says that the expansion will help continue the decline of substance abuse that they've seen over the past decade. A grant is providing funding for a staff role discussing substance use and risks with students, providing both prevention and intervention.
For some students, it's simply they made a choice socially and found themselves in a rough position. It's our job to really build that foundation of education and prevention so that we're approaching our students based on the root cause of their use of substances and not the substance itself.
The grant awarded for the role totals $50,000 over the next 2 years. Esther says that she expects it to be filled by September. Madison Comedy Week is back for its 8th year, transforming the city into a comedy hotspot. Underway now through Saturday, the annual festival promises an exciting lineup with more than 80 comedians from across the country. Nina Davis, an assistant producer at Madison Comedy Week, says this week brings people together in difficult times.
Because stand-up comedy can be such an incredible and freeing art form. It's all about taking challenging things and making them lighter and easier to deal with. And I think especially now, that's a really cool art form.
For venues, lineups, and ticket information, head to MadisonComedyWeek.com. Should be fun again this year. All right, let's check in now with Savannah Brito and your first warn forecast. Good morning, Savannah.
Good morning, Chris. Thank you. Big story continues to be the overall air quality, but we are waking up to a little bit of improvement across southern Wisconsin, at least. To our east and northeast, up towards Wausau, Manitowoc, Sheboygan, and down towards Milwaukee, we do still have an air quality alert. But overall, the entire state was under one yesterday. The worst of the air quality and lower visibilities with smoke cover is more dense to our east. Everyone's going to see the lower to mid 80s this afternoon, and then we've got a really warm stretch of temperatures that'll include nighttime temps as well. We'll have those details on exactly how hot it's going to get coming up in just a bit.
Sounds good. Thanks, Savannah. And your morning sports after the break. From 3 games under 500 to the best record in baseball, the Brewers' incredible turnaround is making franchise history. The crew that's helping them do it.
And I'm already looking ahead to the weekend in the 608. I'll have your 3 things to do coming up.
You're watching News 3 Now this morning. Moving forward.
Back at 6:11 on your Wednesday, getting a jump start on getting you ready for the weekend. Our good friend Josh Sprider has got 3 things for you to do to help your family get ready for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Good morning, buddy.
Hey, never too early to look ahead to the weekend. Stanford here. My 3 things to do this weekend. We start with an In the 608 follow-up this morning. Last week, we brought you to Partyville. We featured the Angie W. Cox Library in Partyville turning 100 years old, and now is your time to celebrate. They are having an end of summer party on Saturday with an open house, garden tour, a bounce house for children, live music, refreshments, and cake. This runs from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. A big shout out to the Partyville community for rallying behind the building that means so much to them. And now to Marquette County, as the city of Montello is celebrating its 175th anniversary on Saturday. There we go. There's a parade at 10 a.m. with many activities at City Park 2. I'm told the UWL Marching Band will be one of many performing in that parade. And finally, it's your last chance ahead from the 608 to the 414 for the Wisconsin State Fair. This is at State Fair Park in West Allis. The fair ends Sunday, so now's the time to enjoy all things Wisconsin until next year. It's also Ride the Drive on Sunday, which is crazy. I always feel like that really puts it into perspective just how fast summer is going on. For more happenings this weekend in the 608, just go to the story up on channel3000.com.
Yeah, it's one of those summer weekends your time frame for trying to get some of these things in is, dwindling. It's really
I always think when you get to the end of the state fair, it's just like, okay, here we go. It's like in Badger football, we're only a couple of weeks away. So yeah,
wild.
It really is.
Some good stuff. All right,
be a good
Josh
one.
Brenner. Thanks, buddy.
You bet.
Josh is always looking for inspiration to share in the 608. Reach out on social media or email him for a chance to be featured. All right, Savannah Brito is here to plan your day. Hey, Savannah.
Hey, Chris. Good morning. Some areas of smoke that we're still dealing with out across southern Wisconsin. For the most part, it's more dense to our east, though. Temperature is going to still be comfortable, but we do have a rise in our dew point. So right now, those are close to 60, and they will get into the mid to upper 60s later this afternoon. So it'll be a little muggy, not as bad as what's to come over the weekend. Highs get into those mid to even upper 80s. Most of us mid 80s, few of us upper 80s. It's more likely for everyone tomorrow and into the weekend. Most of us are waking up with the yellow moderate air quality, but places like Juneau, Milwaukee, Kenosha counties, basically well to our east, still waking up with more dense of smoke, lower visibilities, and more thicker air quality that's down to that orange due to that smoke. So that's where we're off to a little bit worse of a start. The moderate air quality is going to be expected for everyone, though, across southern Wisconsin into the coming days. Our UV index is going to be pretty high later today, up to 8. Thursday and Friday, that drops to 7. Still use a lot of sunscreen. We're going to be dealing with a lot of cloud cover, though, heading into Thursday afternoon and evening, and that's when our next chance for showers will return. Can't rule out a few brief showers later today, but most are going to stay dry like we have seen the last couple of days. The overnight hours look dry, but once we get to noon tomorrow, that's when our next chance for showers will return. It's mainly going to be west of Madison. A line of dying showers and thunderstorms out of Iowa and Minnesota will move in for us across south central Wisconsin. I think by the time we're heading into about 4 to 5, that's when that'll make its way into Dane County. And this line I don't think is doing a good job. We'll still probably see pockets of heavier showers and gusty winds, but I don't think it'll be widespread like this. Most of these should weaken. And then definitely as they continue to head eastward, the best chance of severe weather tomorrow, well to our west, La Crosse and areas west of even up there. Then we could see a secondary round of showers and storms overnight into early Friday morning. Ultimately, our best chance for showers and storms, that's going to return until Sunday. Hold off until Sunday. And that'll be ahead of a cold front. We could see a few stronger ones. Gusty winds, heavy rain are going to be our main threats. That time frame before that, though, that's when we're going to be hot. And then the cold front that I was just talking about, that'll drop us a little bit, just a couple degrees between Sunday. Secondary one a bit more for Monday, but we could see some shower and storm chances continue because of that secondary cold front into early next week.
On May 24th, the Brewers were 25-28, 3 games under 500. If you fast forward to yesterday, they had the best record in baseball by a 3-game margin. Andrew Vaughn and a variety of guys, the reason why. An unlikely group, and Vaughn just always seems to come up clutch. Crew leading 2-0 in the third, and Vaughn doubles that lead in a swing of the bat after a 12-pitch battle. Make it 4-0 Brewers, and then in the seventh, the reigning NL Rookie of the Month. How about Isaac Collins? He does it again as the Brewers win it. They are 44-16 since May 24th. That's their best 60-game stretch in franchise history. Well, a win tonight at Warner Park would secure the Madison Nightmares' first ever Northwoods League softball championship. It would be a dream finish to a dream season in which the Mares won 35 of their 42 games and swept the league's Player of the Year, Pitcher of the Year, and Coach of the Year awards. But for them, that wouldn't mean a thing without the ring.
It's always our mindset when putting together teams. We want to be the best. We want to not just win the league, but we want to put ourselves head and shoulders above anyone else. Given the season we've had, the expectations are to win the championship, and that's kind of the mindset that we're in. That's where our coach is at. That's where our team is at. And I think everyone's kind of in that same mindset right now.
Nate Hobbs could be the Packers' X factor this year. The cornerback was Green Bay's only addition to a room that, simply put, needed a lot of help, which is why yesterday's news was especially unwanted. Hobbs, as it turns out, has a torn meniscus and underwent surgery to have it repaired. He'll miss the rest of training camp, and as for when he'll return, it's anyone's guess.
Unfortunately, he had to have something cleaned up, and we're hoping to get him back here sooner than later.
Anything concerning my body, I need to try to get on right away, and I felt like it was something that we needed to do. They gave me the option if I wanted to do it the next day or the day after. I'm like, we can do this today. Like right now, let's get it handled so I can get back.
Well, they always said I had a face for radio, which must be the same reason that Mason Crosby invited me to be on his radio show yesterday morning. The Packers' all-time leading scorer is a cautious optimist about Wisconsin football and their scary schedule this year.
Mason, do you think that they can get to 7 wins this year? You said you're an optimist.
That is, I'm just not, I'm not sold on like Illinois and Indiana. So I just think those could be some teams that Wisconsin could steal some wins from. I'm just not sold that they have like transformed into these dominant programs.
And we certainly hope that he's right. That's your morning sports fix. Have a wonderful Wednesday.
You too, Andrew. In other Packers news, Coach Matt LaFleur knows his game plan for Saturday's preseason opener against the Jets, but he's keeping it a secret from everyone, including his players. Our Packers expert Jason Wilde has the strategy behind the mystery.
Good morning, everybody, from Green Bay, where the Packers continue their preparations for their preseason opener on Saturday at Lambeau Field against the New York Jets. Now, Matt LaFleur says he knows how much playing time his starters are going to get. He's just not telling us. But he's also not telling his players. He wants them to prepare for the possibility of them playing. And then if they turn out to not play, then they've prepared as if they were. Now, I talked to Xavier McKinney, and Xavier McKinney told us, hey, we've all got bosses. Whatever he wants us to do, we're going to go out there and do it. We'll see what Matt LaFleur wants Xavier McKinney and the rest of the starters to do on Saturday, and we'll have full coverage of the game, of the rest of training camp, and of course the entire season for free on channel3000.com. And while you're there, make sure you sign up for our daily newsletter to get all our Packers coverage delivered directly to your inbox. That's it from here. Back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Jason. Still ahead, a former president cited at an ice cream shop, and the new collab from Wendy's. In our next half hour, fall season sports just about underway in Madison. What parents need to know before their child hits the court or the field. And before we head to break, here's a look at your gas prices. We'll be right back.
Well, welcome back. Mark says a sunset on the Mississippi. Gorgeous photo.
Nice shot.
Lovely. Look at those bluffs. Love to see it. Mark, thank you so much. You know, one of my favorite things to do in the summer is to try to sneak in some ice cream.
Of course.
Whenever I can with the kiddos.
Me year round.
So check out who else is getting in some ice cream fun this summer. President Joe Biden. hanging out at his local Baskin-Robbins with the Secret Service. The video is great because like the Secret Service comes in first and has to like sneak around and like or look around to make sure the coast is clear, and like peek in the ice cream coolers to see if anybody's hiding or anything. But former president enjoying his time after service at the local Baskin-Robbins. And what's funny about this is that he was spotted at another Baskin-Robbins nearby just a couple of days later.
Why not?
So, hey, why not? What would you do if, like, the president all of a sudden, like, you're working behind the counter and then, like, somebody like Joe Biden comes in? It's like, I don't know what I do in that moment.
I think I'd have to do, like, the clear the eyes. Like, is this actually happening? Like, yeah, exactly.
All right, good stuff. Hey, a new collaboration from Wendy's and Wednesday. You know, Wednesday Addams from the Addams family. They're teaming up for a meal of misfortune. So starting on Monday, you can experience the new Wendy's X Wednesday meal of misfortune. It features dips of dread alongside other spooky treats. Each meal comes with mystery sauces like you can't hide and grave mistakes. You don't know what kind of sauce you're getting.
Boy.
There's just a question mark on it. What a fun game, huh? Sauce roulette there. There's also a chance to win $10,000 on the Wendy's app with a Wednesday Addams game. So
Pretty
there you
cool.
go. Starting on Monday.
Yeah.
Spooky season.
Spooky season. Right around the corner, I know.
It's crazy. Well, we're tracking some storm chances that are going to return for us across southern Wisconsin, and we'll give an update on the smoke.
Just hoping for a very, very big survival story.
This morning, rescue efforts continue in Norway for an award-winning climate journalist with local roots. Plus, one of the women involved in the Slender Man stabbing is coming to Sun Prairie. How Sun Prairie police are preparing. Plus, preparing for fall sports. When and where you can get your kid a free physical starting today. Good morning, everyone. Thanks so much for tuning in to News 3 Now this morning on a Wednesday. I'm Chris Stanford alongside Savannah Burrito. You know, this haze in the smoke in the sky, we just have not been able to shake it so far this summer, and that's the story again this morning.
I know, yeah, we're still waking up with moderate air quality, and that's expected to continue the next couple of days, but it's a little bit better than where we have been sitting. So anything that's better, yeah, we'll definitely take it this morning. We still do have areas that are to our east, though, waking up to that orange, which is unhealthy for sensitive groups. But yeah, we do still have the moderate air quality that continues now basically through Sunday. So even into early next week could still be tracking that. It's going to be pretty hot though. Our warming pattern starts as early as tomorrow, but the hottest days are looking to be Friday and Saturday over the next few. Not much rain this week. That'll be kind of hard to come by. Our better chance is going to hold off until Sunday, but I do think we could see some afternoon and night showers on Thursday. Severe weather not expected. We could see a couple stronger storms though on Sunday, mainly the afternoon and evening. We'll talk about the threats and show our setup for Sunday coming up in a bit.
Sounds good, Savannah. Thank you. Right now, an extensive search continues for a journalist and Stoughton native. In a post on X this morning, the Norwegian Red Cross saying difficult terrain, poor visibility, rain and high water levels have complicated access to key areas, but weather has improved. This is all in the search for Alec Loon, who went missing in a remote Norwegian national park home to the country's largest glacier. Loon's a graduate of UW School of Journalism, who also works now as a climate journalist. His wife reported him missing Monday after he failed to board his flight home. His sister tells us that the last she heard from him was through a text before his 4-day solo backpacking trip on that Norwegian glacier. One of his UW professors remembering him fondly, hoping to see him again.
But I've always known Alec to be careful and he wouldn't take any risk. Just hoping for a very, very big survival story.
We've had some people reach out from all over the world offering to come and help, offering insights.
Alec's sister is asking anyone with information or leads to reach out to her or Alec's wife on Instagram. Happening tomorrow, Sun Prairie police will meet to finalize community outreach on the transfer of one of the women involved in the Slender Man stabbing. In 2014, Morgan Geyser and her friend Anissa Weir tried to kill Peyton Lautner at a Waukesha park. Soon, Geyser is set to be moved to a facility in Sun Prairie. Some locals are feeling unsettled by it.
You know, where do we go for information? Where do we go to find out where this person is going to be? And, you know, is our community in danger?
Sun Prairie police say they didn't have much say in Geiser's transfer, but they are working with the Department of Health Services to help smooth the transition for the community.
More than willing to help identify a way to create some community outreach, allow an opportunity for members of the community to voice concerns and then get some answers.
The facility Geiser is staying in will not be made public. A meeting to finalize community outreach on the transfer will happen tomorrow. A special appeals process now underway for the man convicted of killing and dismembering 19-year-old Sade Robinson after their first date. Right now, he's facing life in prison. A jury found Maxwell Anderson guilty on 3 charges, including first-degree intentional homicide. He's currently also facing a wrongful death lawsuit filed by Robinson's family that's set to resume late next week. Robinson was last seen alive at Anderson's home April 1st of last year. Her car was found torched the next day. And following days, her remains were found scattered across the area. A Janesville man going to federal prison after pleading guilty to possessing materials to make chemical weapons. The FBI searched James Morgan's storage unit in 2023 and found chemicals to produce a large amount of chlorine gas. Morgan reportedly sent threats and messages about defeating the government in the same year. Agents also found 6 homemade pipe bombs inside a safe in Morgan's Janesville trailer. Morgan will spend 2 years in prison. In national news this morning, a new CNN analysis finding that ICE officials are using different tactics in certain states. In more Republican-leaning states, 59% of those arrests took place in prisons and jails. Meanwhile, in blue-leaning states, 70% of arrests took place at work sites and on the street. The Trump administration says the newly found difference is due to sanctuary policies being enacted. Madison is the only sanctuary city in Wisconsin. At the state capitol this morning, after passing the budget, Governor Evers is calling for more health care funding. The new budget already includes over $1 billion to health care facilities across the state, with an emphasis on rural areas. The budget also included $53 million for Medicaid reimbursement. Evers said that investment was crucial to help ensure quality care across the state.
Not going to be able to force the health care systems to receive less money. They have costs just like everybody else. So the state has to be on top of it and be ready. That's the bottom line. We need to continue to support the healthcare systems.
Evers also awarded 2 clinics with special grants during his stops in Eau Claire and La Crosse. We're in the middle of our big back-to-school supply drive, and we need your help to stuff the bus. We're partnering up once again with the Boys and Girls Clubs of Dane County to help local kids. We have until the 15th of the month to collect essential school supplies. You can donate online or drop off supplies at one of our drop-off sites. On channel3000.com, you'll find everything you need to know. And a reminder, if you're a parent in the Madison School District, online enrollment and registration for your kids start this morning at 8 o'clock. The website is on your screen right now to do so. Every family has to do this. If your kids are enrolling to school as a new student, you'll have to go through the whole process, or if they're returning to school, you'll still need to verify or update their information. If you have any issues accessing the enrollment portal, you can call this number on your screen, 608-663-4957, or email them for support. New data from Madison schools indicating more students had higher levels of success in their AP exams. Just over 2,000 high schoolers took over 4,500 AP exams. Participation is up about 11%. Average scores are up slightly, and the number of students scoring well also increased. And it is time to schedule that fall sports physical. This week, Madison is offering up free physical clinics at area high schools. Today, clinics will take place at East High School, and then tomorrow and Friday, they'll happen at La Follette. More physical clinic dates are scheduled for the week after next, beginning on August 18th. But make sure to cross-check your kids' practice start dates. Clinic dates past this week fall after many fall practices begin. Students and parents should call their school athletic office to schedule an appointment. 6:37 to baseball now. The Brewers on a roll, looking to take their best in the league, their record to Atlanta and beat the Braves. Yeah, Crew on the road trying to expand that best record in baseball here. Third inning, Brewers up 2-0. Andrew Vaughn at the plate. He's going to single out to left and bring in a couple of runs to put Milwaukee up 4-0. Then in the 7th, the reigning NL Rookie of the Month, Isaac Collins. He delivers up the middle to score a couple of more. Brewers go on to win 7-2 and now have a 4-game lead in the division. They've got the Braves again tonight. And big news in the sports world. Two major sports networks, ESPN and the NFL Network, have agreed to merge. The National Football League says Disney-owned ESPN is set to acquire the NFL Network and other assets, including Red Zone and NFL Fantasy. In exchange, the NFL will get a 10% stake in ESPN. It's all pending approval. In a second non-binding deal, the NFL will license some content and intellectual property to ESPN. Well, former Packer Green Bay player LaShawn Johnson facing up to 5 years in prison and several $100,000 in fines after being convicted in a huge dogfighting case. An Oklahoma jury found 54-year-old Johnson guilty of a half dozen felony counts related to possessing, selling, transporting, and delivering animals to be used in fighting ventures. He surrendered 190 dogs from his kennel. Officials said that's the largest number ever seized from a single person in a federal dogfighting case. And for the Packers, they are looking ahead to Saturday. That's when the Green and Gold will play their preseason opener against the New York Jets. News 3 Now is your home for all things Packers. We're going to be hearing from the team all week. Plus, we'll have analysis from our Packers expert, Jason Wilde. Well, time now for our Forward Madison ticket giveaway. All you have to do is answer our question of the day online for a chance to win a 4-pack of tickets. And today's question, it's a pretty easy one. What's Forward Madison's mascot? Hint, hint, it might be on your screen. Just make sure you go to channel3000.com and our contest page for your chance to enter that 4-pack of tickets.
Yeah, it's pretty easy. If you didn't know, just look at that graphic.
There you go. You'll be entered for a chance to win. All right. Hey, the weather out there this morning, slightly chilly and some haze in the sky.
Yeah, exactly. We have a lot of smoke right now. We're starting with temperatures that are in the mid-50s. That's our coolest, but we do have a couple areas up near La Crosse waking up closer to 70. And that's more so what we're all going to be dealing with the next couple of mornings. So those temperatures on the rise, that includes our afternoon temps as well. We're going to have a couple of days that get close to the 90-degree mark. So enjoy the comfortable temperatures that we still have today. We're looking at highs that only reach the mid-80s, maybe a few areas that top out in the upper 80s. That's more likely, though, Friday and Saturday. Those will be the hottest days. But yeah, some areas of smoke, and that'll unfortunately continue into this upcoming weekend. We'll give an update on what you can expect as far as what air quality values we're going to see and who's waking up with the most smoke currently.
All right, Savannah, thanks. Coming up in your consumer news, empty storefronts getting some new life as Spirit Halloween moves in. Find out where in our viewing area that'll happen.
And I'm already looking ahead to the weekend in the 608. I'll have your 3 things just ahead.
You're watching News 3 Now this morning. Moving forward.
6:43 in your consumer news this morning. Guidelines for emergency evacuations on airplanes could soon be changing. It comes after a string of recent incidents on aircraft that had passengers and now lawmakers concerned. The state's aviation subcommittee ranking member Tammy Duthworth calling for a review of recent evacuations in a new letter to the FAA. The agency currently requires all passengers to have gotten off the aircraft within 90 seconds of an emergency landing and has recently passed a congressional mandate on the issue. President Trump's former Bureau of Labor Statistics commissioner is backing the agency after the president called its latest jobs report a scam. The agency's report typically uses incomplete data and is typically revised after its preliminary report's released. The agency also collects its data by surveying people door to door and through phone and internet surveys. Former Commissioner William Beach said that the resulting report is not altered for political reasons. We'll be on the lookout for bogus Labubus. That's the message from the Better Business Bureau, reminding consumers that online scammers are often on the prowl, trying to take advantage of the day's hot trends. The Labubu is the hot toy of the moment. More than 70 people have reported purchasing counterfeit Labubus, also known as Lafufus. In some cases, people who bought them thought that they were buying a real one, ended up getting a fake one or nothing at all. The BBB advises consumers to shop with reputable retailers and to be aware of a deal that seems too good to be true. You know, it may be hard to believe, but Halloween is about 2 months away now. Spirit Halloween is going to be taking over familiar stores, 20 to be exact, 7 including former Joann Fabrics. At the Spirit stores, staff say that they'll have costumes for every taste, age, and style. The stores coming to our area include the former American Freight in Janesville, along with the Madison East and West Joanne Fabrics. Yeah, Savannah, Halloween not too far away in those fall temperatures, but maybe a little fall-like in Madison this morning.
Yeah, we're waking up with some cooler weather conditions compared to where we should be. We're at 56 in Madison. Our average nighttime temperature around 60. So we're almost 5 degrees cooler than that in Madison. But there are a few areas that are waking up where they should be. 62 in Monroe, 60 in Platteville, 66 in La Crosse. And what La Crosse is waking up to, that's more so what all of us are going to wake up to the next couple of days. Even warmer temperatures to come, that including our afternoon temps too. Still hazy out there. We're waking up to current smoke cover that's lowering our visibilities. This is specifically outside of Platteville, but also because we have some patchy fog out there. Overall, nice day. The smoke moving out of here slowly but surely. Still going to have moderate air quality. We're even waking up to the unhealthy for sensitive groups still towards Milwaukee, but that's way to our east. The rest of us have that yellow, and that's going to continue tomorrow, Friday, Saturday, into the weekend. It's not good, the green color, but an improvement from where we were sitting. Last Thursday and Friday, we fell in that red. This Thursday and Friday, the yellow. Warmer temperatures also where we'll be above average. That continues to be the case tomorrow. We'll be about 5 degrees above it and then closer to about 10 for Friday and Saturday. Those are going to be the hottest days, 89 on Friday, 88 on Saturday. Our average high 81 heading into the second week of August. Our heat index, that's also going to rise over the coming days. This is the forecast for tomorrow afternoon. Couple of 90s as far as actual temperatures go could be possible. I think it's more likely that we reach the lower to mid 90s for the heat index tomorrow, and then a hotter day Friday where that even could top out near 100 degrees southwest of Madison. I think we'll get into the mid to upper 80s or 90s for the heat index. So it will be hot out there, and also humidity. Those levels are unfortunately going to start to increase too. Right now we're waking up to about 60. Those will rise to 65 later this afternoon, but then we'll be pushing 70-degree dew points again as we head into this upcoming weekend. So definitely won't be as nice as last weekend. The only complaint really a little breezy and then smoky last weekend, but this weekend hot and then stormy. I think Sunday is looking like our next better chance of storms, and some of those could be on the stronger side. Right now it looks to be ahead of a cold front in the afternoon and evening. Could see that linger into Monday because it looks to be a slow moving cold front.
Okay, well, Ride the Drive's coming up from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. on Sunday. Do you think those storm chances may impact Ride the Drive?
I think it's mainly going to be later in the day. Could
Okay.
see some rain in the morning, but I don't think the stronger storms come until later. So
There
there's
you
some
go.
good
Fingers
news.
crossed. Let's hope so. Thanks, Savannah. Savannah's always looking to plan your day. If you want a personalized forecast, all you have to do is record a video or send a picture or email our way. Share your name, where you live, and she'll give you that customized forecast. You can upload it to the website, the First One Weather app, Facebook Messenger, or email. Well, it may be Wednesday, but we are already working for the weekend in the 608. Josh Bryder has your weekend planner. Good morning, Josh.
Hey, Chris. Good morning to you. Here are my 3 things to do this weekend in the 608, and we start with an In the 608 follow-up this morning. You'll remember last week we featured the Angie W. Cox Library in Partyville turning 100 years old. Well, now is your time to celebrate. They're having an end of summer party on Saturday with an open house, garden tour, a bounce house for children, live music, refreshments, and cake. This runs from 10 to 3. Big shout out to the Partyville community for rallying behind the building that means so much to them. And now to Marquette County, as the city of Montello is celebrating its 175th anniversary on Saturday. That's a lot of years. There's a parade at 10 a.m. with many activities at City Park too. I'm told the UWL Marching Band will be one of many performing in that parade. And finally, it is your last chance to head from the 608 to the 414 for the Wisconsin State Fair. This is at State Fair Park in West Dallas. The fair ends Sunday, so now's the time to enjoy all things Wisconsin until next year. For more happenings this weekend in the 608, just go to the story on channel3000.com. And the summer weekends are dwindling. We're almost there. I know you mentioned Ride the Drive is happening this weekend too. I feel like we're trying to get everything in before it's too late, before September rolls around.
And it's going to be warm and humid this weekend, so you're going to try to get out on the lake?
That's the plan. That's the plan. Got to get as much lake time as we can. And, you know, surprisingly enough, we were actually out yesterday afternoon. The lake quality has been pretty good this year.
All right.
So I don't know what's going on there, but, yeah, we'd love to see that too. So
no complaints?
Yeah, no complaints.
All right, Josh. Thank you.
You bet.
Josh is always looking for cool stuff to share in the 608. You got an idea for him, reach out and let him know about it. Coming up in the morning sprint, new data from the FBI on crime in the U.S. If you have a little kiddo turning 3 soon, send us a picture. We'll show it on TV. .654, time for the morning sprint. The village of DeForest will have a special election next month after they voted to oust trustee Bill Landgraf. It comes after residents claim that he harassed and intimidated them, leading to a recall petition signed by more than 1,500 people. His behavior had been exacerbated by the controversial fluoride vote. The election is on September 16th, and he will be on the ballot. Right now, an extensive search continues for Alec Loon, a journalist and Stoughton native who went missing in Norway. His wife reported him missing Monday after he failed to board his flight home. His sister tells us that the last she heard from him was a text before his 4-day solo backpacking trip on the Norwegian glacier. New data from the FBI indicates crime decreased across the country in 2024. Violent crime fell by 4.5% last year, with murder dropping almost 15%. Robberies decreased by nearly 9%, and auto theft dropped by more than 18% nationwide. A special appeals process is now underway for the man convicted of killing and dismembering 19-year-old Sade Robinson after their first date. He's facing life in prison. A jury found Maxwell Anderson guilty of 3 charges, including first-degree intentional homicide. He's currently also facing a wrongful death lawsuit filed by Robinson's family. The couple accused in a poisoning plot here in the area of the man's ex-girlfriends in both Dane and Rock counties, pleading not guilty in Dane County Court. Andrea Whitaker is charged with conspiracy to commit first-degree intentional homicide, stalking, and harboring and aiding a felon. Paul Van Dyne is charged with conspiracy to commit first-degree intentional homicide and stalking. An attorney-only status conference is set for Dane County on October 15th. This morning, multiple former federal officials, including attorneys general, FBI directors, and former President Bill Clinton, all preparing to testify before Congress on the Epstein files. Requests were also made for Pam Bondi to release documents related to the Epstein investigation. The Oversight Committee says depositions are set to begin later this month.
Well, it's still hazy outside, but a lot better than where we have been sitting late last week, into this weekend, and earlier this week. 84 today, and then that hot stretch near 90 Friday and Saturday.
All right. Thanks for watching News 3 Now this morning. CBS Mornings is next. Our next newscast is at noon.
Have a great day.